My name is Jimmy Purdy, shop owner, master tech, transmission builder, and the host of the Gearbox podcast. Here I talk with new and seasoned shop owners, as well as industry professionals about day-to-day operations within their own shops and all the failures and successes that come along the way. From what grinds your gears to having to shift gears in the automotive industry, this is the Gearbox podcast.
Just jump in right along.
If only it was that easy, you know? I guess it really is, though, right? You just do it.
You just do it.
Yeah.
If you plan for it, you'll never do it.
That's fair.
At least that's what I found.
Yeah.
Last summer I did it, and I just left. We do Friday morning breakfast at the shop at a restaurant. And
Every Friday morning?
I mean, not everybody shows up, but it's, there's 2 or 3 local restaurants that we go in there, 6:30. Show up if you want. If you don't, okay. See you later.
Nice.
And I met with one of my guys, and I said, if you could just jump in the motorhome and go anywhere, where would you go? And he goes, I'd go west. I said, that's a great idea. I says, I'm leaving after breakfast. And he looks at me. I said, yeah. I said, I'm parked right next to you. And I point to the parking lot, and he sees the motorhome, and that was it.
And off to the races. I guess where else is there to go from your location?
Well, you're going to go north or south.
Okay.
To get out of there, just to get around the lakes. But so I did. I left Michigan. And at that point, I needed to get out. I needed time to unwind, digest, shop, stress, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just did it. I had no agenda. I didn't know how long I'd be gone. Didn't know where I was going. And played every day as a new day. And made it all the way to the West Coast. And just hit random things along the way. National parks. Went to the All-Star game in Seattle. Did some boondock camping, on Mount Hood, out by Mount Rainier. Met up with some friends in northern Idaho, visited some friends in Montana, and just literally took every day as a new day. Camped down by some rivers, got the motorhome in places it probably shouldn't have been. But
got some side-by-sides stuck.
That was this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last summer I did the same thing. But this year was more planned out because last summer it was July, and I didn't want to go south because it's just hot. And in the motorhome, that's fine, but then you're running the generator, and I don't want to listen to the generator. So the furthest south I went was like Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
And then shot across Nevada, north of Vegas. I don't know what the road was across there, but zipped across. Ended up coming into Utah to Wendover, went out on the Salt Flats, shot across, and actually stopped in here, talked to Cecil. Visited with him for a little bit, went back up to Idaho Falls, went through Jackson Hole, the Tetons, up into Yellowstone, and then zipped across South Dakota and did some dirt racing, or watched some dirt racing on the east side of South Dakota, and then Minnesota and Wisconsin back home. Just
world traveler.
28 days on the road, 7,500 miles. And it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, and then you ended up at Mars 2024.
Mm-hmm. So the plan, this one was more of a planned trip because Vision was 1st of March, I guess it was.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll take the motorhome to Vision, and Vision is Kansas City, which is about 10 hours for me. I thought, well, that's halfway to somewhere. So I just figured on being gone for the month of March. And the only agenda I had was being here for Mars. And I'll be back home 7th, 8th of April is my plan.
Nice. I think it's a couple weeks left.
Mm-hmm.
What's the plan after here?
Utah has, I think, 5 national parks. And Utah is some of the nicest country in the land as far as scenery goes, in my opinion. And I thought it'd be cool to hit all 5 of those parks. Yeah. Maybe get into Arizona, see Grand Canyon. I've done the day trip from Vegas thing where you do Hoover Dam and things like that. And that's nowhere near the same type because you're just in a rental car zipping around for the day.
Yeah, it's nice when you're kind of set up and you can pull over wherever you want, whenever you want.
Right, self-contained. No, don't have to worry about a reservation or a plan.
Nice.
That's been awesome.
Yeah, but in the meantime, the shop's still running.
Shop is running. Everything is ticking away. I'm in communication with everybody there lightly, but they're probably doing better with me out of the way. It's not even probably. They are doing better with me out of the way.
Okay.
I just know that.
How's that feeling though? Like that's what everybody kind of wants, but when it really actually happens, it's got to feel. I mean, what does that feel like?
It's the hardest thing in the world because as a shop owner, 99% of us are technician turned shop owner.
Yeah.
And most likely by accident. We didn't plan to own a shop one day. We just got sick of working for somebody else.
Yeah.
So we always need to have our fingers in the pie and micromanage and the last input, whatever.
Yeah. Be the fixer.
Be the fixer.
Yeah.
And
be needed.
Yeah. And that's great for a long time, but man, it's not that great. I think the whole thing that is so hard for people to remember is get out of the way.
Yeah.
But the getting out of the way part is, man, it's easy to say.
Yeah, because you got constantly new employees you're training, constantly someone doing something that they shouldn't be, right? Mm-hmm. So, and they call it, what, daddy syndrome, right? When a lot of the times it's like you're constantly having to step in to correct.
You think you have to step in to correct.
Or you think you have to. That's a better way to put it, yeah.
But my problem is I don't like to allow people to fail, even though. So my theory is I like to, if I've been down a road and I predict something is going to happen because I've been down that road, I'm always, now make sure this or be careful of that, instead of letting them learn that on their own. So then I think that almost inhibits people because now they're cautious and they need some approval or need something to allow them to go further, and they're just kind of waiting on that. And that is not.
Yeah, it's a choke point.
It is.
I mean, you just funnel it all through you.
And the reality of it is, I'm like, I don't want to be the funnel.
No.
But I don't like to see people fail if I think I can help them by giving them some type of warning in advance. Like, oh, this is the problem I had with that in the past. Be careful of that. Well, nobody learns from that. I mean, I like to think I did, but I'm sure I didn't.
Yeah. I think thinking you know better is probably what the issue is, right? Mm-hmm. And then obviously knowing that every repair is going to be different, every job is going to be different, every situation is going to be different. Yep. So you can't really relate to that, but you're trying to do the right thing, right? You're trying to be the fixer.
We think we're doing the right thing. We really, I 100% genuinely believe everybody thinks they're doing the right thing, but it doesn't. It doesn't help. I don't think it's the answer. I think you just need to let the people grow. Let them, give them the fences or the guidelines, and let them
make the mistakes.
Yeah, if they bounce off the side of it, it's not like we didn't do that hundreds of times over and over.
Yeah. It's just so much easier when you make the mistake and then you can obviously fix that and the onus is on me because I did it right. But when someone else does it and you think you could have done something to avoid it, it makes it that much worse, right, in your mind. You
but it's part of the problem. Down.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why you just can't get out of your own way sometimes.
That's why it's hard.
The hardest thing, right? Well, with the new staff too. So I have a fairly new staff, and it's like really difficult for me to want to, or can even step away because I know there's still so much more procedures I need to have set up. And I'm expecting something out of people that haven't been there for very long, right?
Uh-huh. And you're expecting that out of them without necessarily telling them what you're expecting.
Right.
We talked about that last night at dinner a little bit.
Yeah.
That's one of my small problems. It's like, why can't you read my mind? I'm thinking this. Why are you not comprehending what I'm thinking right now? And
why don't you just know this?
Yeah, why don't you know this? I know this.
Don't you just think like me?
Yeah, just look into my eyes and you can see I'm thinking that. Turns out that is not how it works.
Yeah, my mom says I have that problem too. People can't read your mind, right? Like, I assume they could.
That whole communication word, such a big word.
Yeah. Well, how hard is it to have those talks without being upset or like coming from a place of emotion, right? To just have something go wrong and then sit down and explain yourself without being slightly emotional about it, which skews the whole conversation.
Yep. I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not that direct. So I'll stew over it instead of just saying something about it.
Yeah.
And by the time I say something about it, usually it's because I stewed so long, and then it comes off way wrong.
It's blown way out of proportion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just never goes well after that.
I wonder why. It never could.
I don't know why people don't know that.
Yeah. And I think, like, so we had the presentation about anxiety this morning. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, obviously, it hit home, I think, for everybody here, right? We all wake up at 3 a.m. Like, no matter if you're across the state in a camper and you really don't need to be there, or you're, you know, a year into your shop. Like, it's a real thing to have those problems when you're waking up in the middle of the night thinking about what could go wrong, what will go wrong.
And we've all had a scenario or a troubleshoot or even something not related to a vehicle that's kept us up at night. Some anxiety thing, maybe a website issue, maybe something going on with a Google review could set that off.
Oh yeah,
just something simple like that, and then usually we spend more time worrying about it, and then the reality of it in the day is like, oh, that wasn't a big deal, or it passed quite easily instead of being this big headache.
Or it went nowhere near what you thought it was going to go to. Or at the end of the day, what really is a big deal, you know? What's there even worth to even stress about if it hasn't happened yet?
Right.
You know, and then...
That was sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and at the end of the day, they're just cars.
Yeah, they really are. Yep. I mean, there's a lot of emotion tied to it with a customer and things like that, but it's just a car. Just a dumb box of parts.
But it's amazing how upset people get, and then you have to talk them through their anxiety, through your own anxiety, through your employees' anxiety, you know, and it's a lot to, I mean, obviously, that's why you're taking off on your hiatus. You know? It's a big thing to try to, like, manage it correctly. You know, and I think it's a big missing part of most shop owners when they're starting out, or even decades in, even technicians, right? Like, who doesn't go home and think about every part that they took apart in their car, right, whatever they're working on, and did I put that bolt back together? You know, everyone thinks about it. No one talks about it.
Well, we don't necessarily know how to talk about it. The meditation part and the calming and the breathing and that kind of thing that was through that anxiety discussion this morning, it could be one of those things that might make a difference for somebody. If, to my point last summer, or to my little hiatus last summer, I wasn't in a bad position mentally or anything like that, like the speaker was discussing this morning, but sometimes you just need to get away.
Yeah.
And it took 2.5, 3 weeks before I was like in a work frame of mind again, or I wanted to think about it. And then what I noticed is all the ideas were fresh. So I took a 3 or 4 minute breathing exercise and stretched it into a month. But the ideas were clear. The thought process was clear. You know, what do I want to do to be happy? What does the company need to be? What ideas do I want to try and embrace or move forward with, or any of that?
Yeah. I mean, it's different for everyone. Just like everything's not going to work in everybody's shop.
Right.
But obviously getting to the point where you can take that time, you know, and some people, there's no way I could leave for a week. There's no way I could leave for a day. Like, well, maybe you're not charging enough. Maybe you need to start coming to these conferences. Maybe you need to get a coach. Maybe you need to, like, do some outside sources to actually help you get to the point where you can help yourself from the inside, you know?
That goes back to our egotistical background. We're technicians, and how we measured success was how big of a problem child vehicle we could fix.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And we didn't ask anybody. We didn't, you know, you use your knowledge, your tools, your training, and you figure it out. Now, some people like to do the YouTube answer, the Google answer, parts cannon approach. That doesn't work for running the business, though.
No. Yeah.
And if you don't have that mentorship from somebody that's successful or smart, which could be good or bad, because sometimes there might be bad habits in there, but it is. It's the whole coaching thing, or just the training event. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and aligning with your core values.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't have to be successful or like right or wrong. It's just align it with your core values, and what they're saying makes sense to you. Then like continue on that path to have them mentor you, right? There's so many different ways.
Be comfortable.
Yeah.
And like know yourself. Know, which I say that out loud, but I don't know myself.
Yeah.
Because I want to be something different than I really am. And if you lie to yourself in that way, and I'm talking to myself right now, it's going to be harder to figure out what the next step is, or what's needed.
Well, I think being self-aware is the first step. Like, it's okay to like use that as the first step, I think. Mm-hmm. Like, realizing that you don't know, I think is that first kind of critical pivoting point to make your mind start thinking, right? Mm-hmm. And I have the problem with like business plans and business visions too. Like, I don't know what my vision is. I don't have a business plan. And yet that's supposed to be the two things to do to be successful, right?
Right away, right?
You're supposed to do these things, and that's the only way that it works, and you have to do it. Otherwise, your business is going to fail. Like, I don't really buy into that. And it's the same thought process of like, well, you don't need to know yourself, but you need to know that you don't know yourself. Yeah. And that helps a lot.
And be okay with it.
Yeah.
So you might know it.
Well, that strikes a nerve right there.
Yeah, and be okay with it.
Can you sleep at night, And then as everything evolves and you start realizing what you need to do, everything changes. Like, you start realizing profit is not a bad word, and you start seeing yourself operating your business in a way that you wouldn't have done it when you first started, because you felt like that was ripping your client off, or that was ripping your customer off. Like, if you charge more than X, that means you're ripping people off, right? But then you realize you get the education, you realize the only way I can stay profitable, or in business even, not even profitable, is to charge this, Y amount. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm ripping people off now. Now I'm that egotistical shop owner that I was trying not to be. Because most people open the shop and they're like, oh, I'm not going to be like my boss. I'm not going to put shop supplies on my RO. I'm not going to charge $190 an hour, or whatever it is, right?
Oh, yeah. We don't need to get that much profit on parts. Turns out, yeah, profit isn't a bad word.
You have to. I was going to say, and that goes to like treating your employees right. So you have one of your guys on your trip with you right now. Is there any way you could have done that if you didn't charge to be profitable,
Yeah, he wanted to come out for the Mars conference, and then, there's the next 4, 5, 6 days, I'm going to have him experience this part of the country and see those national parks and all the things that Utah has to offer, because when else is he going to do it? Now, he likes to do that kind of stuff, so he would probably make the time. But when? And I think everybody needs to do a sabbatical type thing.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's, my kids are all grown. That's not holding me back, that kind of thing like that. So I don't have those types of things, but at the same time, you got to we all work until we can't work anymore, not because we're too old, because we're just physically incapable.
Yeah. And
then what? What did you do?
Well, we all wait, and I think I'm guilty of this too. Is like, just put your head down and you work. You're right. Like, you figure out what you want to do in your 20s, you put your head down through your 30s, and then you try to get it figured out, beyond that. I don't know, I'm not there yet. So, but I mean, but I'm at that, it's like, I'm at that point where it's like, I just got to keep my head down and keep working, right? And all of a sudden the decade goes by and you're like, what am I doing all this for,
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're doing it wrong, or not wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing it less than profitable.
Yeah. Or you find another way that's better, and you're like, why did I wait so long to change my ways? And you can't get that time back, right? And so the sooner you find mentorship that helps you decide which way you should be running your business, the better. So it's like, you don't even have to like join this, in quotes, cult, right?
Right.
And feel like you're part of this thing that's like, selling you all these things that you don't need, right? Like, and that's what we try to provide to our clients is like, we don't want to be the shop that sells you things that you don't need. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I mean, not necessarily, but you go to these conferences and you just find what you need, and the information is available for you to decide what you want to move forward with. And I feel like as a shop owner, that's what I want to provide my clients. I want to give them the opportunity to make the decision that's right for their vehicle. And that might look like I'm selling them a bunch of stuff they don't need, but in reality, I'm just educating them. These are the things in your vehicle that you need to repair. It's up to you to do it. I'm not getting into your wallet. I'm not like, you make the call, not me. So that drives me nuts when I hear, especially new shops, guys that are like just starting their business or years in, and they say those types of things to me. Oh, the inspection's a waste of time. The DVI is a waste of time. The 300% rule. You're just selling stuff that they don't really need. Like, they don't really need anything if they drove it in.
That's very true. That's very true. If they drove it, but it goes so many ways, because we've all had anybody that's been in business for any length of time has had a car get scratched or has damage or has been accused of causing damage, whether we did it or not, or has an underlying issue. And you're in the transmission game, I'm in the transmission game. We both know that a lot of other things can cause a transmission symptom.
Yeah.
One of the things that we see in the diesel side is a fuel filter. If a fuel filter is plugged up in a truck, the customer just knows that the truck doesn't want to shift unless he lets off the throttle.
Yeah.
That's a transmission issue to him.
You call it a misfire on the engines with spark plugs.
Yep. And it could be, but the transmission might be the what's presenting itself as an issue, but
right.
But what's really the problem,
and do you think that's tied back to like the anxiety of like people like just wanting to think it's the worst case scenario, right?
Yeah,
absolutely, right. So it's like they're already anxious and they've already made it in their own mind the worst case scenario. Now they're coming to you in a bad state of mind, right? And it's like this whole thing that goes sideways for no apparent reason at all.
Well, and most people, it's like going to the dentist when you have a toothache. It's never enjoyable.
Yeah.
The pain is obviously requiring you to go, or making you finally say, okay, fine, I'll go. Because who likes to go to the dentist? I don't. But in car repair is the same way.
Yeah. And then by the time you've actually gone, you've WebMD'd yourself into into like they're gonna cut your jaw off or something. I definitely have that. That's the one I got, right?
Yep, that's it.
So and if you think people aren't doing that with your car, then you're lost as everybody else, because that's exactly what happens. They look on, it's like, oh, yep, that's my symptoms, so I need a transmission. And then they look up, how much is an Allison 1000? Yep. Oh, it's about $9,000. So they're ready to spend $9,000 by the time they walk into your shop, and come to find out it was a $250 fuel filter.
And that's happened before that, and that still sticks in my head, because it's just, and the customers, there was a scenario in that situation. It was a customer from Ohio, which for us, that was about 5 hours, and he was just sure he needed it. Okay, we'll get you scheduled in. And he shows up, and I says, before we do anything, we're going to check some things. And this has been a while ago, before we were I don't know. I don't want to say before we were something, because I don't know what I'm saying, but edit that part out.
Edit it.
Boy. But it was a road test, and I had the customer with me, and he goes, yeah, right there. Can you tell what it's doing? I said, yep, okay. Now I know what you're feeling, what your sensation is. Now let's figure out why. And it was. And I said, before we do anything, we're going to go back and screw a fuel filter on and see what happens. We do that. We go out and drive it. And he drove 5 hours back home after a fuel filter change. I said, I got a transmission if you want it, but you don't need it. You can't not do that.
Yeah. And that's the importance of like slowing down that whole intake process and not letting them dictate your workflow, right? Like this is what we're going to do first. At the end of the day, like you said, if you need a transmission, I got it on the shelf. Like it's ready to go in, right? But let me do my thing and make sure that we're putting a fuel filter in after we replace your transmission, because that's a terrible time.
That's a wrong.
Yes. That's not the right time to do that repair, And I get it all the time too with tune-ups and having misfires. Comes in, check engine light on, misfire codes, and you drive down the road and shuddering and bucking, and it's like, yeah, it's transmission issues, and it's even other shops that send it to me. Oh yeah, it's transmission. And like, no, it's just a misfire. On the Fords it's a big one because they don't set an engine light, and so you got to go to the misfire counter and all that kind of stuff. But regardless, the point is the same. It's like, even at that, and it comes in and I already know in my head what might be going on. It's like, no, it's got to go through the process. It's got to go through the way we intake the vehicles, we do the inspection, we go through, we identify everything. Because the other problem, and I'm sure you got that with transmissions, is if you were just focused on that, you did a transmission and the rear end decides to make a howling noise, or the front wheel bearing's also gone bad, they're not going to notice that until they get it back.
Right.
Even though it's been making noise for the last 6 months, no one pays attention until after they get an $8,000 or $9,000 repair bill.
Now they expect it to be a brand new vehicle.
Oh yeah, absolutely, right.
Well, all we did is fix this.
Yeah. And so having the inspection, it's like that's what you have to do, just to eliminate all those problems, and everybody misses that.
And as soon as you have that process in place where you know that you need to do X, Y, and Z steps, and you need to do this and this, whatever that is for your particular shop or application. And as soon as you have a customer that allows or not allows you, that you allow a customer to dictate a process. Maybe they're in a hurry, so you do a rush on a vehicle that you're not familiar with and skip that DVI process. I don't even think there's a failure rate of that. That's just 100% issue. Something is going to bite you in the butt.
100% of the time, it happens every time.
100% guaranteed. That's the 300% rule.
Yeah, that's the real. That's the real one.
That's the B rule of the 300% rule.
And it blows me away because it does happen just like that. And I look at other shops in my area or around, and it's like, how do you guys get away with, like, some of the stuff I see to get away with, like, I could never get away with that. It's like, how does one small thing slip through the cracks for me and it just like is magnified, right? It just never fails. Are they getting
away with it, or are they not realizing the other side of it?
That's true. That's a good point too. I mean, the only reason why I know is because I'm self-aware about it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking at.
But if somebody isn't aware of that stuff, they don't even realize they got away with something. Where
yeah, that's a fair point. That's a real thing. Yeah. And yeah, so I don't know if maybe learning all this stuff's not a good thing. Huh?
Well, it's hard to go backwards.
It's called what do they call ignorance?
Yep. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes.
And negligence is what?
Yeah, that's true too.
And once you learn that stuff, whether it be something like putting a process in place or the 300% rule, the DVI, even if you don't want to do it, mentally I think it sticks in your head and forces you to think about it. Or like, oh, I know there's a better way, and I know that this might be a better way. We'll go back to something simple as the DVI, but I don't really want to do it. And then, meanwhile, you're still causing yourself stress and headache because those side issues pop up, or you do a transmission when it needed a fuel filter.
Yeah.
Or a parking lot diagnosis. That's the terminology. Yeah. Oh, it's a wheel bearing. Just a wheel bearing. Yep, no problem. Wheel bearing. Well, and X, Y, or Z because you didn't.
Or the phone call diagnosis, the same thing, And you set these expectations, and then all of a sudden it's something totally different than what you explained on the phone, and now you just lost the trust of the client. Right?
Oh yeah.
Because if you're going to say something and spout your mouth out over the phone, they come in and then you quote them something totally different. I mean, if you want to lose a client, that's how you do it. Yep. I'm guilty of that, right? And then the same with the mistakes. Like sometimes parts are replaced that shouldn't have been replaced, And I mean, it eats at all of us when that kind of stuff happens.
Right.
But you got to learn by failing,
And sometimes you're going to take it on the chin and eat that. If something happens, like, oh, well, that didn't fix it.
Yeah.
Well, step up. And if you're charging appropriately, which kind of how this weird circle just starts all connecting together. If you are paying yourself, or I'm sorry, if you're charging what you're worth and delivering what you're charging, you can absorb something like that because mistakes happen. We're human. And they're like, oops, we were wrong. Eat it. Move on. yes, it sucks in the immediate. No, you can't return the part to the vendor. But just you walk up to the customer and say, we screwed up. We were wrong. I'm not going to charge you, whatever your approach is, but just own it.
Yeah.
And that's very difficult for anybody.
Get them in a rental car. Mm-hmm. Get them taken care of.
Taking care of it, yeah.
Step one, you made a mistake. Okay, so I need to take care of the person that owns this car. And I think that's lost too. I think a lot of people stress, and then they're at the shop till midnight trying to figure this car out. And they really think they're doing a really good job and a really good service for their client, right? When all you had to do is just make a phone call and say, look, we screwed up. Didn't go quite as planned. We're going to need a couple days. Can we get you a rental? Can we get you situated? Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, who's going to, like...
How do you, as a customer, yes, you're inconvenienced, sure. But if you come up and lay it all out instead of trying to beat around the bush and hide something, and then it just, that's a spiral that just never ends well.
Or you're up till midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. trying to figure it out. Can't get it figured out. Next day, they're calling, right? 8 a.m. in the morning. They need their car. It's supposed to be like... So now you're not in the best frame of mind at all.
Right.
And how, like, it just all goes downhill. And you're not making enough money and this and that and the other. And it's like... It's just, like you said, that negative feed loop that just feeds into itself. Like, how do I get out of this?
The deeper it goes, the harder it is to break out.
Yeah.
And then that affects the next three vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
It just...
Well, it affects everything. You're like, what the hell why am I doing this?
Why
How many times have you thought of that, huh?
Why do I work for myself?
Well, this is...
Who I want to go back to working somewhere else. That lasts for probably not even a day, because just the thought coming out of your mouth is like, I can't work for somebody else.
Yeah. Well, you want to be in a camper in Utah, so there's
right.
that too, right? So take advantage of the fact that you work for yourself sometimes too. I'm guilty of that. I just feel so bad about taking advantage of the fact that I'm the owner, I'm the boss, right? Like for a long time I couldn't even take lunch. Like I just felt like I needed to work harder than everybody else. I needed to be there before, I needed to be there after. I don't take lunch. I don't like, and it's like all consuming, right? Because you don't want to show. I don't even know what it is, right? But it's the same time as like, you don't want to be that boss that like, oh, he just gets to sit in his office all day and do nothing, right?
When I'm in the building, it's funny you say that. Very often I will be in early. Very often I miss lunch, and very often I'm there after hours. But I don't know that I accomplish anything. Like it just feels like, it's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
But is it? And one of the little themes of the week, or the last week or so, in part of my trip, is get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
And that's not me talking. That's, other people saying that. And I'm like, yeah, we just need to get the hell out of the way. But boy, is that tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's the ego thing, right?
Oh, totally.
And he's just trying to control everything. And I guess from an early on, when I first started, I didn't want to be... Because I worked in a shop where it was very micromanaged, right? And so I wanted to be the guy to come and be like, do your thing, because that's all I wanted. I just wanted, can you just let me like fix this car? Let me just like do my thing and quit looking over my shoulder. So,
how's that working?
For the shop in general.
For you?
I think I'm doing the right thing. I think it needs more work, right? Like we all do. I think I need to be more involved. I think in the last 6 months, I've realized I need to have a little bit more involvement. For the first few years, it was kind of like your job as the technician. So when you pull that car in, I don't want to hear from you until the job ticket's turned back in. Don't tell me nothing about it. Figure it out, right? I don't think that was the right approach. I think that was wrong. But that was my other extreme. Like I stayed so far out of the way that I was like, just figure it out, right? And so now it's more like, okay, so I need to get involved with, and just be involved with each vehicle individually, because I wanted a system that allowed me to like divide and conquer. Like, okay, so these cars I'll be involved in, these ones not, but I'm just starting to realize I just need to know what the car's in for now, read through the notes, and just kind of like actively watch and kind of see what tools they're grabbing, right? Like, and just really, really be involved like through each technician and each job they're doing, and really try to like pick like, okay, so why has he got a hammer right now? He shouldn't have a hammer right now if he's doing a CAN bus diagnostic. Like, you know what I mean? Or maybe he should. That is probably a damn good idea right now. But you know what I'm saying? And just try to like envision like what should they be doing at this point 2 hours into a diag or an hour into this repair or whatever it is. And then just say, hey, so what's up?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like you're doing what you should be doing, but not saying that. Just like, hey, anything I can help you with? I'm here if you need me.
It's like, how did we get to this conclusion, or where are we at this place? And sometimes it makes perfect sense. Other times you're like, oh, and then other times you're like,
Maybe. Well, what if we decided to look at this instead of that, right? What do you think about that? You know,
Yep.
Or even the test that they did. Oh, I see you ohm tested the circuit. That's really good. Did you voltage drop test it? Do you know what that is? You know, like, do you want to grab the scope? You know, like,
Yeah.
we got a timing code. You want to like you want to do a cam crank correlation code on it? Do you know where the scope is? You want me to grab it for you and set it up for you? I got a couple of minutes. I can help you set it up real quick, because a lot of the time they're just as egotistical as us.
Yep.
Like, right? Like, well, we all are, right? I don't want to point the finger at one or the other, but like, they don't want to be. No one wants to be told what to do or be felt inferior, and that was my big problem too. Like, you don't know what you're doing. Let me help you. And now I've like changed that to like, hey, I got a few minutes. You want me to help you set it up? You know, hey, this is a really cool feature. You ever seen this? You ever try? So like redirecting how I'm asking instead of just making them feel stupid.
And it's funny how just changing the words around,
It's amazing.
it changes the whole. And I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying I do it very well.
Well, I don't either. I'm working on it
Okay.
actively.
It's so much easier to be a shop owner sitting in a different state, talking into microphones. It's like, this is the greatest thing ever.
That's why I do this. This is literally why I do this.
We're at a marketing conference learning how to market ourselves because we're experts at Google.
Yeah, I mean, that's why all the podcasters podcast, because it gives you just 30 minutes to an hour making you feel like you're an expert.
Yeah, we can just say all the greatest things about ourselves. And then when we go back and listen to them, we're like, I don't remember saying that.
I don't ever do that. Well, the goal is somebody listening is going to hear us, and maybe they'll actually do that, and it'll make one shot better.
Or they'll realize that we're idiots.
It sounds like a win-win. As long as they're listening and then they're subscribing,
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, yep. Just get that Gearbox podcast going. But one of the realizations, though, of an event like this, a conference or any type of, it doesn't have to be a destination event, just multiple people around. Jeez, oh, Pete's thought loss. Realizing that, I'm not as weird as I thought. Everybody else, or maybe not everybody else, but like whatever the struggle is, turns out it's probably not a rare thing. And, you know, we all have our demons and we all have our things that we want to work on, and we all probably even know it. But when you hear that it's shared by others, it becomes more human.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just out in left field. It's like, oh, wow, you got that same issue or similar? Yeah. And you can, it's just the camaraderie of it all.
Oh, yeah.
You're not getting taught. You're not getting forced. You're just sharing it, bouncing ideas, realizing that we're all human.
We're all weird together. Mm-hmm. So it's good.
It's a crazy thing.
The networking is like by far the biggest thing at all these conferences. Right?
Networking. That is the word I was trying to find.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks you.
I thought so. I read your mind. I don't know if you could tell.
Oh, it was perfect because you knew exactly what I was trying to think
So
of.
I guess we got a magic show tonight, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I think the magic show just happened.
There it is. Huh?
You read my mind. I know it can be done, so I suddenly don't have to communicate.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It's amazing.
I feel like we're on the same. I think it's like a transmission.
Do you think it's
builder thing?
Do you think it's the headsets, like the cords that go into this little magic box next to me?
I do. I'm like slowly siphoning all your personal information.
Well, this show is probably over then, because you got everything you're gonna get. Syntax error. No.
Well, Eric, I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, it was awesome. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah. And Merchant Automotive.
Yep.
In Michigan.
Michigan. Zeeland, Michigan. Southwest Michigan.
That's awesome. And you do, So I was talking to your comrade.
Charlie.
Yeah. You sell parts, and it's all Duramax.
Everything we do is Duramax.
Okay.
Yep. So
I followed you with your Allison transmissions, but I didn't realize you had like the whole diesel Duramax thing locked down too.
Yep. We do all the Duramax stuff, parts repair, the Allison stuff because that's what's in them. A lot of I don't want to call them maintenance rebuilds. That's not the case, but an upgraded stock unit. So it's not just putting the same stuff in and performance units for the guys that like to turn the trucks up, do dumb stuff. We'll build something for that too.
So you do the whole truck, differential to radiator,
everything in between.
And you manufacture parts too there.
Mm-hmm. We do light manufacturing. We do a lot of kits and problem solver type stuff. And then if you're looking for an oddball part, we probably have it or can access it. But it's all Duramax. Never.
All years.
01 to current. And it's bumper to bumper. I'm not afraid. We'll pull a dash out and fix a blend door. Haven't done it recently, but we used to put foam and seat covers on just because it's in the truck. But a gas guy comes in or a non-diesel truck, and we very seldom will attack it.
Okay.
Now if it's an Allison and an 8.1 truck, sure, we'll take care of it for you and do the related work to it. But I'm not looking to get into it.
What do you think about those 8.1s?
I don't have much experience with them.
Okay.
They weren't out very long.
They weren't, no.
And I don't know how often they sold, but I've never been into one.
Okay.
I don't know much about them that way. I'm sure they make.
I'm not a huge fan of them, so.
Okay.
I just think they're overrated, underpowered, and.
I definitely think they're underpowered, but that's just because it's a gas motor from 20 years ago. Or
that's true, and it's
15, 18 years ago.
8 freaking liters.
Yeah.
So you get like the same less fuel miles than a diesel and half the power. So I don't know, or
right.
half the torque anyway.
And at that point, you might as well. I don't know. Maybe there's some argument probably to not having a diesel, depending on your use, especially nowadays with emissions. If you're not working the truck, if it's your grocery getter, it's probably cheaper for you not to have it. From a longevity standpoint,
yeah,
the emission system's just not happy if it's not getting hot and getting worked, and
it's true.
That type of thing.
Yeah. The GM guru right here.
Nope. Just
of the nation.
No.
Of the world.
Oh, I have been around the world.
That, huh?
Part of the world.
the diesel world traveler. The diesel GM specialist / world traveler.
There has been some fortunate events over the years where I've been to Barcelona and London doing repairs. So that was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yep. And it wasn't really that hard of work, but it was just a relationship I built with a customer that is from that area, imported a truck, and he used it as like a film truck, TV commercials and movies and things like that. So the truck was a camera rig, that's the word. And it needed some work. And he says, why don't you just come over here and do this so I don't have to mess with it? And I'm thinking, let me check my schedule and see if I have time to go to Barcelona for the week. Turns out I did.
You make those plans pretty easy. Yeah. Especially if it's paid, right? I think I can fit that into my schedule.
Yep. Cool. I did. But that was pretty cool. That was a fun deal.
Eric Merchant Automotive. Thanks again for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jimmy.